Today we're talking about 5 pros and 4 cons of living in Winston-Salem. And the 5th pro is by far my favorite, so stick around to watch that. It's great to see you guys. Let's go. Hey, this is Jeff Valentino, local real estate agent, and I get calls, emails, and texts all the time about people thinking of moving to Winston-Salem, and I love helping them out. So if that's you, one, make sure you subscribe to this channel to learn everything about Winston-Salem, parks, where to eat, where to live, neighborhoods, shopping, everything. Subscribe for that. 2, call, text, email, whatever you got to do if you're thinking about moving to Winston. I love helping people do that. I want to be your boots on the ground. The first pro about living in Winston-Salem is its location within the state of North Carolina. You know, North Carolina is a wide state. It's got everything from mountains on the west to a beach on the east. And Winston-Salem being right in the middle gives you great access to everything that the state has to offer. You know, in the north, we have Mount Airy and Pilot Mountain. To the south of us, we have a big city like Charlotte. To the west, you can be in the mountains in just a couple hours. To about 30 or 40 minutes west of us, you can be in wine country, which is just gorgeous. To the east, about an hour and a half, you can get to Raleigh-Durham. About 3.5 hours, you can get to the beach and have an awesome weekend there. So North Carolina is just a great location, just about central in the state, just gives you easy access to everything that the state has to offer. Now, the first con about living in Winston-Salem is the pollen. Pollen season here starts pretty early in the spring and it comes on pretty heavy. I didn't know that when I first came here, and I have pretty bad allergies. The good news is, after that first year, it seems like my body adjusted to it a little bit and it wasn't quite as bad after that, but it can still be pretty heavy in the springtime. The second pro about living in Winston-Salem is the affordability of the housing here. You know, houses in Winston-Salem right now have a median sales price of about $188,000, which is well below the national average. That means you get a lot of home for your money. It's very affordable, especially for like first-time home buyers and things like that. So, and that affordable housing is one of the things that's making Winston-Salem one of the most popular places to move in the country, and it's definitely been ranked as one of the best places to move for first-time home buyers. The second con about living in Winston-Salem is the airport. If you're coming from a big city where you had easy access to a really large airport, it's going to take a little bit of adjustment when you move to Winston. Our airport is in Greensboro, and it's called Piedmont Triad International Airport. Now, this is a little bit of a smaller airport than what you're used to if you came from a bigger city or something like that. So you might have to get used to making like a connecting flight or not quite as many flight choices throughout the day, but it's definitely still manageable. Also, Charlotte Airport is just a little over an hour to the south of us. The third pro about living in Winston-Salem is, even though this is the South, we definitely have 4 distinct seasons. So spring here is amazing, and when everything comes in bloom, it's just really beautiful. There's so many scenic drives and greenways in Winston and stuff like that that you can do. It's just gorgeous when the springtime comes around. It's very pleasant temperatures. It's not super hot like when you get way down deep south, and it's definitely not cold like it is up north. It's just a really great time of year. Then we get into fall, which might be my favorite time of the year. It's just really beautiful driving, or if you're out, I like going to visit wine country and stuff like that if you're into that. When the vineyards are in fall and harvest is going on, the weather's crisp and a nice glass of wine, it's just so much fun. In winter in Winston-Salem is not that bad, but it is winter. The average temperature in winter here is about 42 or 43 degrees, so it gets chilly. Sometimes it gets into the 30s. Definitely not like the winter I was used to when I was in Chicago, that they would stretch out into April and get those big snows in like late April. There's not much of that going on here. However, unlike the deep south, it is an actual winter, so it's another distinct season. The third con about living in Winston-Salem is the humidity in the summertime. So during July and August, it can get to be pretty humid. We are close enough to the coast where it is a higher humidity. Now, it's not like, you know, Florida or deep south, like super humidity, but it is humid. It's not like Arizona either, where it's a dry heat. It does get a little muggy here in July and August. So just be prepared for that. The fourth pro about living in Winston-Salem is just the ability to get around the city in general. Traffic is almost non-existent. They have a very small rush hour here. It seems like it lasts about 10 or 15 minutes, but it's really not that bad. And that's only a couple times a day, in the morning and then later in the evening. But generally getting around the city is super easy. It seems like really if you're on one side of town, you can get to the other in about 15 minutes. It really does seem like you're about 10 to 15 minutes from anywhere in the city. The fourth con about living in Winston-Salem is its overall walkability. Now you do have some places like downtown and a couple other neighborhoods, but in general, most of the city's not very walkable outside of those 3 or 4 areas. All right, we're coming up to my fifth and favorite pro about living in Winston-Salem. But remember, if you're thinking about moving here and you have any questions at all, I love helping people when they come to move here. I want to be your boots on the ground. I have your back if you're thinking about moving to Winston. Call or text me at 336-837-5924. You can email me, send a direct message, whatever you got to do. Again, I got your back if you're thinking about moving. All right, so the fifth pro about living in Winston has to be the overall people and just the vibe of the city itself. You know, the people here are so friendly. It's a great mix of that southern charm and southern hospitality with a little bit of funkiness from a kind of an artsy city and place like that too. So it just gives a great mix of amazing people here. And Winston-Salem was also named one of the most diverse places in America by niche.com. So that's reflected in our people too, from all walks of life, from blue collar to professionals that are in the biotech industry and stuff like that. We have just a little bit of everything here, all different parts of town and everything like that. So it just really is a great place to live, a great cross section of people from all over. They're real welcoming to people that move from other places. At least they have been to me and other people that I've talked to and helped move here. So the people are just great, and I really do think if you're considering it that you'd enjoy it. So that's it. 5 pros and 4 cons of living in Winston-Salem. And again, make sure you subscribe and click that bell to get notifications every time I upload a video about Winston-Salem.